Life is not equal. It never has been. There will always be kings, and there will always be peasants. And if you cannot master your own mind, if you cannot control your own thoughts, your emotions, your habits, then your fate is sealed. You are a peasant. That is your destiny. That is the cold reality most men never escape. But the moment you take control of your mind, everything changes. Life becomes disgustingly easy. If I decide to do 1,000 push-ups, then I will do them. There's nothing complicated about it. You already know exactly what you're supposed to do. You know you should train. You know you should work. You know you should build, create, grind. You know. The problem is you fold. You obey weakness. Breakups, trauma, pain, everyone has them. You think you're unique because your heart got broken? She left. She's gone. That's life. Off to the gym. The world doesn't stop because your feelings hurt. You either control your mind or you don't. And if you don't, then you lose. Control of your mind is not a gift, it's a skill. It is something you learn, something you forge. Men who fought in world wars saw horrors you couldn't imagine. Their friends blown apart, their homes destroyed, and yet they came back and built lives. They didn't all run for therapy. They didn't sit around whining. They were taught to control their minds because survival demanded it, and that is what's missing today. Everyone has trauma. Everyone has pain. The difference is that some men push forward anyway. I've seen horrors. I've felt heartbreak, but you move. You get through it, because the only alternative is collapse, and collapse is death. I believe in love, but I do not believe in weakness. If I love a woman with all my heart, and I say, you're not going to the club with your friends, and she disrespects that boundary, she is gone. Goodbye, because I know the truth. If you let disrespect slide, if you let weakness guide your choices, you will lose her anyway. Months later, after she cheats, after she humiliates you, you'll lose regardless. Better to lose as a man standing on his principles than as a coward who bent until he broke. The truth is simple. People are terrified of emotions. That's it. They're not scared of bullets, of knives, of real threats. They're scared of missing someone. They're scared of sadness. They're scared of temporary pain. And so they let feelings run their lives. Imagine that. Letting an emotion control the trajectory of your existence. That is slavery. And this is the world most men live in today. When your mind is warped and fragile, you're controlled by outside influences. Advertisements tell you what to buy. Women tell you how to behave. Weak friends tell you to take it easy. And you listen because you have no iron mind of your own. But when you control your mind, when you stop letting weakness dictate your actions, the world bends differently. This has nothing to do with being emotionless. You will feel, you will suffer, but you will never let those feelings stop you from doing what must be done. That's the difference. I haven't woken up excited to train in years. Do you think I feel motivated? I don't want to. But I still go, I still train, I still execute, because feelings are irrelevant. The idea that you need to feel motivated exposes your weakness. I don't need motivation to go to the gym. I have my mind, I use logic. I decide what must be done, and then I do it. It's that simple. That's life. Doing what needs to be done. Efficiently, thoroughly, relentlessly, until you have built the best possible existence for yourself. If you carry a mindset that refuses to fail, then you will win. There is no other outcome. Motivation is a myth. Discipline is reality. And I won't sugarcoat it with fluffy words meant to make you feel good. I'll tell you the exact truth. Build the mindset that cannot be broken, and everything becomes possible. Fail to build it, and you're finished. Every great story has the same lesson. Every hero must suffer. Every hero must face trials. And every hero must confront a villain. Life as a man is hard. Harder than being a woman. Harder than being anyone else. But if you see yourself as the hero of your story, then suffering begins to make sense. The hero suffers, but the hero rises. Think about every movie you've ever seen. The hero loses his parents, gets betrayed, gets beaten, gets locked up, and still comes back stronger. Batman, warriors, kings, they all suffered and they all rose. Right now, you are in your own story. You are the hero. And how you face these struggles will decide everything. You will either rise as a hero or collapse as a failure. But here's what you've been missing. Every hero has a villain, and your villain is not the world. It's not your competition. It's not the rich man with the car you want. Your villain is you. Your greatest enemy isn't out there. It's not the man driving the car you want. It's not the guy with the physique you envy. It's not the millionaire with the life you fantasize about. Those men have their own battles, their own circumstances. You can't compare your life to theirs because every playing field is different. Envy is wasted energy. Your villain is inside you. Your villain is the version of you who never waits for motivation. The version of you who doesn't fold to feelings. The version of you who does what he's supposed to do every single day, no matter what. That's your enemy. That's the shadow version of you, who executes without hesitation, without compromise, without weakness. Imagine that man. He wakes up at 6 a.m. every morning and trains. He never misses. He eats clean every day. He studies when you scroll. He works when you procrastinate. He builds when you waste time. He doesn't give in to weakness. He doesn't surrender to comfort. He is ruthless, efficient, powerful. And now ask yourself this, do you want to lose to him? You want to look in the mirror every day and know there's a version of you who could have been unstoppable, and you let him beat you? That thought should terrify you. That thought should haunt you, because every day you choose weakness, you're losing to your villain. He's lifting heavier, he's earning more, he's sharper, stronger, faster. He's everything you wish you were. And he's laughing at you because you had the same chance and you wasted it. This is why you must construct him in your mind. Put effort into building the image of your villain. Imagine his body, his posture, the way he walks into a room. Imagine how people respect him. Imagine how women react to him. Imagine how the world bends for him. That is you, but only if you rise. Only if you fight. Only if you refuse to be beaten by weakness. This is what drives me every day. I know who I'm battling against. It's not random men online. It's not enemies in business. It's not rivals in the gym. It's the man I could become if I obeyed discipline every single day. And I refuse to lose to him. That's why I train when I don't feel like it. That's why I work when I'm exhausted. That's why I push when my mind screams for comfort. Because I know he's still moving, he's still building, and if I stop, he wins, and I will not allow that. Most of you don't even have an enemy. You've been told to love yourself as you are. You've been told you're perfect. You've been told to relax, to accept your mediocrity. That's the poison of the modern world. They feed you lies so you stay weak, easy to control, harmless, but the truth is the opposite. You should hate the version of you that folds. You should despise the coward in you that accepts less. You should declare war on him until he is dead. And that's why ego matters. The world today says men shouldn't have egos. They tell you to be humble, passive, nice. They want you weak. They want you silent. They want you submissive. But ego, when aimed properly, is power. Ego is the fire that refuses to lose. Ego is what makes you say, I will not be beaten by myself. You need that ego. You need that pride. You need that internal refusal to accept defeat. Without ego, you settle. Without ego, you compromise. Without ego, you lose. Your villain is beating you right now. He's fitter, he's richer, he's stronger, he's living the life you dream of, and he exists because you refuse to do what you already know you must. That is the most humiliating truth. The man who humiliates you most is the man you could be. But here's the beauty, you can kill him, not by ignoring him, not by hiding. You kill him by becoming him. You erase the gap between you and him by executing relentlessly until there's no difference anymore. You rise until the man you imagine is the man you are. That's the game. That's the war. And every day you either move toward him or further away. There's no standing still. There's no pause button. Every action counts. Every choice matters. You must be ruthless with yourself. Construct the villain. See him clearly and then declare war on him. Because if you don't, he will haunt you until your last breath. Ego is not your enemy. Ego is your weapon. They want you to believe ego is evil because a man with no ego is easy to control. A man with no ego accepts weakness. A man with no ego apologizes for his ambition, lowers his standards, and lives quietly in mediocrity. That's exactly what the system wants. Obedient, harmless peasants. But when you build your ego properly, it becomes unbreakable. You become so sure of yourself, so unwilling to fold, that nothing outside can shake you. Your ego tells you, I will not lose to my weaker self. I will not let him win. I will not die as average. That fire is what carries you through the days when you're tired, unmotivated, or crushed by setbacks. The world says ego makes you arrogant. No, ego makes you refuse defeat. Ego is the reason a fighter steps into the ring even when fear is clawing at his stomach. Ego is why you drag yourself to the gym when every part of you wants to stay in bed. Ego is why you keep grinding when no one is watching, no one is clapping, no one cares. Because deep inside, you care. Most men waste their ego on entitlement. They wake up and tell themselves they deserve a car, a body, a lifestyle. That's not ego. That's weakness disguised as pride. Real ego doesn't say, I deserve. Real ego says, I will earn it, and I will not stop until it's mine. That's the difference between the kings and the peasants. And here's where fear comes in. Fear is not your enemy either. Fear is a signal. Fear means you are close to something that matters. Fear means you are standing at the edge of growth. Weak men run from fear. They let it stop them. Strong men harness it. They see fear, they feel it, and they act anyway. I was nervous before every single fight. My heart would race, my body would shake, my mind would whisper all the ways I could lose. And that was when I felt most alive. Because that fear meant the battle mattered. That fear meant victory would transform me. That fear meant I was in the arena where men are forged. You need that same fear every single day. If you don't feel nervous, if you don't feel pressure, if you don't feel anxiety, you're not doing enough. You're not risking enough. You're not chasing anything that matters. Comfort is the death of growth, and safety is the death of greatness. Anxiety is the proof that you're capable of more. Weak men sit with anxiety and cry. Strong men see anxiety and say, good, this means I'm on the path. Now I must act. That's the difference. One folds, one forges. And let me tell you something harsh. If you don't have anxiety about how much time you're wasting, if you don't feel dread when you realize you're falling behind, you're already dead inside. That fear is supposed to light you up. That nervous energy is supposed to force you to move. If you ignore it, you betray yourself. Every morning you should wake up with urgency. You should feel pressure on your chest, a reminder that you are in a race against your villain, and he is not slowing down. He is moving while you hesitate. He is building while you waste. He is laughing while you fold. That should terrify you. That should keep you awake at night. That should drive you like a fire in your lungs. And the only way to silence that dread is not comfort, not distraction, not lying to yourself. The only way to silence it is action. Every rep, every grind, every sacrifice is proof to yourself that you are fighting back, that you are not folding, that you are not losing to your weaker self. So use your ego, use your fear, use your anxiety, channel them into discipline until they become your allies. Because the man who has mastered his ego, his fear, his dread, that man is unbreakable. That man is dangerous. That man is a king. Discipline is not an action. Discipline is not something you do. Discipline is an identity. It's who you are, not what you sometimes choose. That's why most men fail. They treat discipline like a tool they pick up once in a while when it's convenient. They go to the gym for a week, they grind on a project for a month, they wake up early for a few days, then they stop. Why? Because their identity never changed. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your identity. That's why resolutions fail. That's why motivation fades. Your system is built on weakness, and so you collapse back into weakness. But when you decide discipline is who you are, everything changes. Suddenly there's no debate in your mind. There's no do I feel like it. There's no should I take a day off. There is only execution. Because that's who you are, the man who trains, the man who grinds, the man who executes every single day. And that's why comfort is poison. Comfort whispers lies to you. Comfort tells you you've done enough. Comfort tells you to take a break. Comfort tells you to relax, to reward yourself, to stop pushing. Comfort is the voice of weakness. Comfort is the death of greatness. Every time you listen to it, you're killing your identity. The most dangerous thing about comfort is how reasonable it sounds. You need rest. You deserve balance. You should take care of yourself. Weak men believe this. Strong men know the truth. Comfort before you've earned it is betrayal. Comfort before victory is cowardice. You don't deserve peace until you've gone to war. You don't deserve rest until you've conquered. You don't deserve balance until you've proven you can handle imbalance. The lie of modern culture is that you should always feel good. You shouldn't. Growth does not feel good. Discipline does not feel good. Sacrifice does not feel good. Greatness is built in pain, in pressure, in sacrifice. If you feel good all the time, you're not growing. You're decaying. The truth is this. Discipline is freedom. Weak men think freedom means doing whatever you want, whenever you want. But that's not freedom. That's slavery to your emotions. That's slavery to weakness. Real freedom is waking up knowing nothing can stop you. Real freedom is control over yourself, over your actions, over your destiny. And the only path to that kind of freedom is ruthless discipline. Discipline rewires you. At first it's hell. At first you drag yourself into the grind. At first every rep feels like war. Every early morning feels like punishment. Every sacrifice feels like suffering. But slowly, something changes. Slowly your mind rewires. Slowly your habits reshape your identity. And then one day, it's no longer hard. It's just who you are. That's the cheat code no one talks about. You don't need to feel inspired forever. You don't need to live off hype. You just need to force yourself long enough that it becomes natural. Because once discipline becomes identity, the game is over. You can't be stopped. And this is why consistency matters more than anything. Talent doesn't matter. Motivation doesn't matter. Even intelligence doesn't matter as much as consistency. Because the man who shows up every single day will always defeat the man who shows up only when it's easy. Consistency is the great equalizer. It's the reason average men beat gifted men. It's the reason men with no resources still build empires. Because they simply refuse to stop. They refuse to fold. They refuse to quit. And over time, they outlast everyone. That's the secret no one wants to hear. It's not about explosive effort once in a while. It's about relentless effort every day. It's about stacking win after win after win until the weight of your discipline crushes the weak around you. I didn't become who I am because I felt like it. I didn't become this because